Hey guys, it's Chels. Welcome back to another video. Today I am here with Lysa once again, and we're going to be doing another video talking about heartbreak and a little bit of her story with a heartbreak, and kind of talking about just different ways to get through it or whatever kind of naturally comes about in this video. And if you guys haven't seen the previous video that we've done before this one or the next video to come, make sure to just stay tuned to this series. There's going to be about 3 videos in it, and hopefully you guys can gain some wisdom and knowledge from our dialogue and conversation. So Lysa, how would you I guess describe a heartbreak or something that happened in your life that kind of made you learn?
Well, when I was in high school, there was a guy who was my best friend, okay? So do you know how that works? Yeah. So usually in my life growing up, if I was in middle school or high school, if I had a guy best friend, that was really code to where we'd gotten stuck in the friend zone, but I had feelings for them or they had feelings for me, but they were unmatched affections. So there was a guy I had a serious crush on, and one day we were in this conversation and he said, you know, Lysa, you would be really, really beautiful if you didn't have such big ankles. And I cannot explain to you why that hurtful statement landed so hard and so deep in my heart, but it did. And so, I mean, I'm in my 40s now, and so I just turned 47. That was 30 years ago that person said that to me. And even to this day, when I get dressed in the morning, I think about his comment. Because this is what happens in our brain. Somebody speaks something into us, and if we care about that person, then we put more weight into what they've said. So that line, L-I-N-E, that line can turn into a lie that we believe. Now, the reality is I really don't have big ankles, but in his estimation, I don't even know why he said it. But because I cared about him, I received that line and it turned into a lie in my life. That lie then turns into a label I put on myself. The label I put on myself is I shouldn't wear dresses. Like, I shouldn't wear dresses. So for 30 years, I seriously hardly ever wore a dress because I was so convinced that what he said was true. So that line turned into a lie, turned into a label, which turned into a liability. And I did this dysfunctional dance with getting dressed every day for a long, long time. And so I just want to encourage people to understand that everything that's said to us, we have to really examine the reality of what's been said. So as I was writing my book, Uninvited, I asked the Lord, bring to me some of these lines that people have spoken to me that have turned into lies, that have turned into labels, that have turned into liabilities. And that story popped in my mind. Now, I hadn't even remembered that it was that guy that said it to me. I just knew, you have big ankles, Lysa, so don't wear a dress. And so as I asked the Lord about it, he revealed to me that silly conversation that I'd had in high school. And I was able to have this conversation with the Lord. It went something like this. Okay, God, what's the deal with my ankles? And it's not like God spoke audibly to me. He didn't. But what I felt in my heart was this question: have you ever twisted your ankle? Nope, I've never twisted my ankle. And then the Lord said, Lysa, I've given you beautiful ankles of convenience. They are amazingly sturdy to carry you where you need to go, and you travel a lot and you have lots of adventures. Your life is set up in a fantastic way, but you have to have strong ankles. Well, that very next day, I put on a dress. I did. And I felt confident. I even took a selfie, which is not in my comfort zone, but I took a selfie and I posted it on Instagram, and I just shared that story. Like, hey, once this guy told me that I had big ankles, so for a long time I haven't worn dresses, but today I'm taking that ground back. I'm not going to do the dysfunctional dance with getting dressed anymore. And the comments flooded in from girls, young, older, even moms and grandmothers that have had a similar experience about something that someone spoke over them that then they received, and it hurt them so much that they kept doing this weird thing with it. So So I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't to certain extents. I have had different friends who have said different opinions about outfits or just what, mostly about like what I wear and everything, just because it's not their style or what they would wear. So they try to, influence me in what I wear. And sometimes it does get to you because you're just, you try to really evaluate what they're saying because you care about them, like you said. And you're like, oh, wow, really, maybe I do suck at dressing myself. Like maybe I need to, evaluate how I put my outfits together, when in reality, like we all have our different styles and not everyone's the same. And so you do have to evaluate that opinion before you actually take it to heart.
Exactly. But don't you think it would be a beautiful thing as we get dressed every morning and like as we pull our shirt or our dress over our head, just to say, okay, Lord, give me the mind of Christ today, so that instead of being so consumed with thinking about myself, that I think about other people. And then as I continue to get dressed, Lord, thank you for giving me a heart that is beating and is strong today. May I have compassion for all the people I encounter that are heartbroken today. And Lord, thank you for my hands. Thank you, Lord, that I'm able to work and to create and do amazing things. Lord, help me to be a good steward of my hands today. And Lord, thank you for, and you just continue, like, thank you, Lord. And pray protection over our bodies, and then pray that we can be used for God and His glory. And as we get dressed, just ask ourselves the question. Number one, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, like Psalm 139 says. So therefore, I'm going to thank God for my body instead of beating myself up about my body. Number two, I want to dress so that nothing that I put on today is a distraction, but it is just appropriate, and it's something that that I can just, it can clothe my body, but it doesn't have to be a distraction. And number three, Lord, just give me the confidence to own it. Like, I feel like if I get dressed in the morning and I just own what I put on, as long as it's appropriate and not distracting to other people, then that is my style, that is my fashion. Therefore, I don't have to worry about it. So I even bought a second dress and wore it last week. And my daughter, who's 22, said, Mom, if you're confident in what you wear, then it'll look good on you. And I just thought, that's so true.
Yeah, it really is. And just thinking with confidence before you, get dressed in the morning or even go to bed at night, like, it's just such a great mindset to have. And I think it's really essential when you're stepping out in the world today.
Absolutely. And also recognizing every person you encounter is a person that would love a blessing from you today.
A compliment.
Yeah, a compliment. Yeah. And so I think, like, each day I try to compliment at least 3 people. So I walk into my day, and especially since I've written the book Uninvited, I'm so sensitive to how uninvited a lot of people in this world feel. So I want to invite them into a compliment. I want to invite them into a blessing today. And so I'll find something to compliment people. And I just always say, Lord, show me who needs a compliment today. And He does. And it's not this big voice that booms from heaven. It's not like a sign drops down from the sky, this is your person. It's just, I'll encounter somebody and I'll go, Chelsea, you really have beautiful hair. You have beautiful eyes, and I love your dress today.
Thank you. I like your necklace, by the way. I've been looking at it the entire time. But I agree with that too. I mean, sometimes even when we feel like we need a compliment or like that our needs aren't being met, it's just nice to say a compliment to someone else, and because that in turn makes us feel better about ourselves.
It fills our heart with joy. And this doesn't always happen, but did you see what happened when I gave you a compliment? You gave one back to me. Yeah. And it's not that we give to receive. It's not that at all. But it sets an atmosphere of graciousness in our relationship. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, if you guys would like to check out Lysa's upcoming book, which is called
Uninvited, and then the subtitle is Living Loved When You Feel Less Than, Left Out, and Lonely.
Great. So if you guys want to check out my social media and her social media, it'll be all linked down below. And I just want to thank you for joining me today and just addressing some of these topics, because I know a lot of people are dying to get good advice. And a lot of people on my channel definitely look for videos like these. So I think they'll be excited to see this video. And yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Deuces.